Hello, I am a Bullis student tutor. In this video, we are going to analyze one of ancient history's most famous legal documents, Hammurabi's Law Code. These sets of laws were made by King Hammurabi in ancient Mesopotamia circa 1750 BC. These laws would forever change the justice system, even to modern day. Before we divulge ourselves into the tenets of this law code, let's meet the creator. Hammurabi was born circa 1810 BC in Babylon, modern-day Iraq. The lasting contribution of Hammurabi on Babylonian society was his set of laws written on 12 stones and displayed publicly for all to see. He died circa 1750 BC in Babylon, reaching the age of 60. This was also the year of his master creation, Hammurabi's Code of Law. Another notable accomplishment was his expansion of the city-state, Babylon, to unite southern Mesopotamia. We are forever grateful for the work of Hammurabi in creating one of the first fair and consistent law codes. Imagine life back in ancient Mesopotamia before Hammurabi. The laws continuously changed for a sole person, making it hard to judge a fair trial and hold a consistent punishment system. Let me set the scene for you. You're in a courthouse. There is a judge, a plaintiff who is nobility, and a defendant who is a commoner. And just a quick little side note, the characters I chose for the scene do not model what an ancient Babylonian would have looked or dressed like. However, I do believe they do a fitting job of representing the situation at the time. Back to our scenario. The plaintiff presents an outrageous case that's just not true. The defendant tries to refute the claim, but the judge already has his mind set. He rules against you and gives you a terrible punishment. Before Hammurabi, this would be a normal occurrence because there was no set law through all the land. The powerful would take advantage of the weak. Hammurabi was sick of this and declared, "He shall make justice visible in the land to destroy the wicked person and the evildoer. The strong might not injure the weak." In short, Hammurabi sought to bring order and stability to a society changing for the worse. To sum up all 282 laws inscribed on the 12 stones would be a difficult task. I believe the best way to give you a glimpse of what was detailed is through revealing two major ideas of the law code: law of retaliation in kind and law of penalty according to rank. Like any other complex society, Babylonia was socially stratified. There were wealthier noble persons, lower class persons or commoners, and slaves. The punishment depended on the classes involved. For the law of retaliation in kind, in cases involving equal classes, the penalty given would equal the crime committed. For the law of penalty according to rank, in cases involving unequal classes, the penalty given would depend on the class of the victim and the class of the criminal. These laws kept society stable by discussing ideas of moral values, religion, class structure, and gender relationships. Let's take a look at two examples. Our first example will use the law of retaliation in kind. And for your knowledge, a patrician is an aristocrat or a nobleman. If a patrician has knocked out the tooth of a man that is his equal, his tooth shall be knocked out as well. Our second example will practice the law of penalty according to rank. It involves a patrician who violated a plebeian, which is another word for commoner. Since the patrician is of higher class, the penalty will probably be less. If he has knocked out the tooth of a plebeian, he shall pay 1/3 of a mina of silver. Notice the difference there. When it was equal classes, the punishment was the same, but when there were different classes, the higher class got the easier punishment. And yes, in case you were wondering, this is an actual example from Hammurabi's code. The most famous saying we hear when referencing this law code is, an eye for an eye. Like we just learned, if a man blinds another man of equal class, he too will be blinded. You removed the work of his eye, and he removed the work of yours in return, like stated by the law code. While providing a basis of much of today's law, Hammurabi's law code gave us much insight about the values and cultures of ancient Mesopotamia. Thanks, Hammurabi. Before we end this video, I want to throw out a bit of art history for you. What is on the screen right now is a stele of King Hammurabi that is located above the cuneiform script on the law code. What is happening in the relief is the god Shamash is handing Hammurabi the law code. This simple sculpture reveals much more than meets the eye on Hammurabi and his place in society. Take size, for example. The god Shamash is larger proportionally, but not by much, so this could have keyed that Hammurabi saw himself of equal importance to the god. It also depicts that Hammurabi met with the god in the absence of an interpreter, meaning he established a close relationship with the deity. The way that Hammurabi is depicted in this relief shows that he had a great sense of divine power over the people he ruled, the mere mortals. This image deifies Hammurabi. This has been a Bullis Student Tutors video. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out the rest of the videos on this page. Thanks for watching!